You all right?
I've been using a teeth whitener, and I'm like trying to stare and see.
I mean, they do look whiter.
Do they?
Damn.
Yeah.
I've had this yellow stain like right here that I've been trying to get rid of. I mean, I have a calcium buildup because I haven't gone to the dentist in a long time because I just got health insurance not too long ago.
Yeah, get after that.
I got
to get all these fucking replaced, and I'm just so lazy. I don't want to do it.
I don't have any cavities or anything, but like the calcium buildup.
Yeah, these are all fake. I ate a bowling ball when I was a kid. And so it just chipped all of them, but now the root's starting to grow down through the caps. So I got to get them all replaced. So I get fucking brand new teeth, but it's like $1,000 a tooth. So.
Are you gonna get the Love and Hip Hop teeth?
No, I'm gonna get like some Miley Cyrus fucking. I'm getting high grade. I'm not.
You're doing like George Washington. You're gonna pull them out of the heads of black people and throw them in my.
I hear that's how they make them now. It's like blood diamonds, except it's blood teeth. I don't. That's what I read.
You're getting the blood teeth. Okay.
There's a bunch of African kids in mine.
All right. Speaking of blood teeth.
Blood teeth. That's where
you gotta intro the show. We're still
Stop saying this fucking weird shit, and I would.
Well, if you just intro it, then I won't have
no. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the show. We're introed. Fuck you and these damn dances. All right. Speaking of blood teeth, right?
Speaking of blood teeth. Yeah,
speaking of blood teeth. London's red, right?
London is red. Let's go. Arsenal won their 14th FA Cup. We are the most winningest FA Cup team in Europe in the Prem. We won it because of our number 14, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
Who's the second best number 14, right?
There's some argument to be made.
Hold
you're
on.
an asshole.
All right.
But most importantly, we got European football next year, and Arteta got his first trophy, and he's been there for half a season. And hopefully the board will allow us to lock up Aubameyang for whatever he wants on a contract, because that dude's amazing. He's second for Golden Boot this year. And as tough as it has been to be an Arsenal fan, for this to be the last game of the season, last day of our season, feels good.
You might get Coutinho.
I hope not.
I mean, you might.
I don't want him. I don't. It's like having Kyrie. I don't want any problem players. I want good, under the radar players who just go out there, play the game, like Danny Ceballos. I want that guy. I want him forever. You know why? Because you don't hear about him until he's on the field, and then he's got an assist, and then he goes home. I want blue collar players. I don't want any Gareth Bales. I don't want any of that. I just want.
You don't want Gareth Bale, really?
No, fuck that dude.
I mean, he played.
He's working on his golf game, and I can really appreciate that.
But one thing I didn't watch the game because it's on ESPN Plus, right?
Oh, I could have given you my account, but yeah.
Nah. But why were both of y'all running 3-4-3?
That's Arteta's lineup, and that's what's his
isn't Thierry? Was it Thierry? Isn't he a left back?
No, he's a wing back.
But you had him playing center back.
We had dual wing backs.
And then Hector Bellerin was playing right mid.
He was playing wing back.
Oh.
I mean, it's a modified 3-4-3.
Okay.
Yes. We had.
So it's not the 3-4-3 flat.
No. So we had like modified wing backs, 2 center backs, 4 in the middle, 3 in the middle, and then 3 up front. I mean, nobody was in position like the entire game. I don't know if you watched it. I mean, if you rewatch it, it was some bad defending. There was no defending. I would argue that there was no defending the entire game.
Wait, why the fuck wasn't Conte starting?
Injured. He's not fit.
But he's on the bench. Did he ever come in?
No, he was not fit to come in.
All right, so they just shouldn't have had him on the bench.
I think with all their injuries, they didn't have any other players to field. And they lost 4 today. Pulisic is done.
For how long?
7-10 months.
Huh?
Yeah, he ripped his hammy for sure. Christensen, he's out. Pedro, either fractured his collarbone or something.
Pedro, no.
Yeah, he went off with oxygen and everything.
Oh, I love Pedro.
Well, he's gone. He's gone to Bundes?
Why would he go there?
No, Pedro's that deal's done. Pedro's gone. Pedro.
That's a weird combo. Well, I mean, no, Paco went to the Bundesliga too. But, I mean, he's just so at the end of his career. I figured he'd go back to Spain.
I don't know where he's going, but all the tweets are sad way for Pedro to end his career.
Oh, yeah, so he might be done then.
No, he's going.
Kadeem doesn't care about this at all, but sorry, bro.
And I love the fact that we're leading with soccer.
Yeah. I mean, it just ended. It's the most important part. He's either going to Germany or he's going to
Roma. He's going to
Roma. Yeah.
All right. I mean, still, like the Italian league, but I mean, Roma's not a small club, so.
Yeah, he'll do well. He's on Barcelona forever, so.
Hmm.
Please call to. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Anyway, so good way to end of the season, and now more sports.
Yeah. So.
Fucking late night shitty tacos.
Hey, I'd be great at that shit.
And now more sports. God, are you gonna cut the camera off me?
No.
Of the angel, call today. Fly away to save
What you looking up,
cat
Kadeem?
in distress.
Oh, can you see my phone? Oops.
Yeah.
The mic's blocking my periphery.
We see all that shit over there.
No, I'm texting. Girlfriend just texted me. I was texting her.
Oh. How y'all doing?
Tell her we say what's up.
Yeah.
Hunter, what? Sorry.
Are you? Should we just do this tomorrow? Like, are you okay?
No. We're good.
You sure?
Yeah. Let's talk about some more sports.
You didn't miss us, bro? You didn't miss us?
There's no. How high were you last weekend?
Was I? Oh, him. Yeah, you want to talk about that on the pod?
No.
We were gonna sleep for like 2 days.
Yeah. So,
what's next?
Yeah, what's next is the
What's
NBA.
next?
Sports talk.
Sports talk on the 8s.
Good show.
Now that we have soccer back, right? But another sport
It's
we
been
got
back.
recently, I know. I'm saying we have soccer, right?
Yeah.
Another sport we just got back is the NBA.
Yes.
Kadeem, you said you haven't seen a game.
I've not watched a full game. I did tune in after Ryan sent a text in the thread that said Shaq was crying. I was watching Sherlock, and I turned it off real quick to go see if I could catch Shaq crying. I missed it.
He was right after the intro to the NBA with Meek Mill, who did a pretty good job. I don't know, they were just talking about, the message that all the players and coaches are trying to send, and Shaq was just like sitting there with big ass sunglasses on, and you could see if you looked hard enough through one of his eyes, there's just a tear.
So he was crying.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh,
good.
All right.
Very emotional time. I'm sure, and it's been a good product so far. Like, I like what they did. They didn't make the stands look big. They basically cut them. It looks like you're playing in a gym, but right. It looks cool. Like, it's like playing at a rec center. I really like the format. 0 NBA players have tested positive since they bubbled. Which, look, I know the NFL was probably waiting to see what form was going to work, whether it was going to be the bubble format or whether it was going to be a let's fly across the country format, just based on the MLB versus hockey and basketball. Hockey, no positive test in 2 weeks. Basketball, I don't think they've had a positive test in over a week and a half. Maybe the bubble works.
Yeah.
It's basically quarantining, except you're quarantining it a bit. Hey, man, them wings look good as shit.
Hey, they do. Like, I want to go to Magic City just to get the wings.
I keep telling y'all, food at strip clubs the shit.
Dude, some of my favorite wings
shit was funny.
Some of my favorite wings are at a strip club. So
I'm all about strip club
I'm in
food.
DC. Yeah.
Look, I've never had it.
Yeah, you're missing out.
You can't get strip club food at like midnight though. You gotta go in. No. You gotta go in at like 8 o'clock because the weird people come in at midnight, and then how you gonna eat your wings?
I do the lunch crowd, man. I do the lunch crowd at evening.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do like a late lunch, like a 4 o'clock.
The food is best when the talent on stage isn't as good.
Well, maybe we should all go there and do a podcast from inside.
I'm in a loving relationship. I don't go to strip clubs. Thank you very much.
She can come with you.
I'm joking. We've already gone to 2 during quarantine.
You trying to get that COVID pussy?
I mean,
it's not just your facelifts that you can get the COVID from.
Oh my God!
Your face slips. I will say this as far as the basketball stuff. Like, I've been following a lot of the storylines and everything that are coming out. So, like, I guess opening night, Charles Barkley said something that set Twitter on fire. As far as
right after Shaq was crying.
So,
he did it right after.
If you're not kneeling, you're not a villain. You're not a bad person if you stand for the anthem. A lot of people gave him shit for that. And then there was wasn't it
Pop stood.
Jonathan Isaac.
And Pop.
Jonathan Isaac from the Magic, he stood, and then he gave a press conference afterwards, which not a good look, brother. Not a good look.
At all. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking.
But Greg Popovich didn't kneel either. And he's like one of the biggest supporters of his players. And
Greg Popovich probably break both of his kneecaps if he tried to do that shit.
When they asked him, he said it didn't feel good.
It's just what it is. Like, the last thing we need is Greg Popovich in a wheelchair on the sidelines because he tried to kneel during the anthem.
It's the reason Trump doesn't like kneeling. It's because if he did it, he'd never get back up. That would be the end of it. Trump would be on his knees for the rest of time.
But what I will say is that overall, like, even for the little bit that I watched, that like it was all of 30 seconds. I have watched like some highlights because it looked like some good games.
That Lakers
Clippers game.
Last night.
Mavs game was good. Ja Morant didn't even ball out. It was is it PJ Washington? Dude, there's some
PJ Washington. I think he plays for the Hornets.
Somebody had like fucking 40 points for the Grizz. Like, the games have been good. Like, it's good basketball. Like, I figured they'd come out of the gate a little slow just because they haven't played competitive basketball in 4 months.
Overall, they seemed a little rusty to me, which is why it's like been the back and forth. But I haven't watched the game flow.
Yeah, I mean, you know who doesn't look rusty? James Harden. Taking fucking step back threes from like 50,
49, 9.
I want to talk about that. So I watched some of that game until I couldn't take it.
Jackson was so good.
I watched that game until I couldn't take it anymore. I really I want Luka to be great, but he pisses me off so much.
I mean, why? He got a triple-double, didn't he?
He had another triple-double. He broke the record for most triple-doubles.
The offense runs through him. The offense runs through him, right?
Yeah.
A river runs
through him. He lost that game for us.
He had some bad shots, man.
Yeah. So, like, he went, 1 for 8 from 3 when Porzingis was on fire. And he's shooting, like 1-footers at the buzzer. I'm like, what are you doing?
He Kobe'd it. He just wanted to take as many shots as possible.
He complains so much. Mentally, I don't know if he's there. Like, mentally tough enough to just say, fuck it. Like, he complains every play.
No, that's perfectly
fine. It annoys me.
Send him over to Washington. We'll send y'all John Wall and a bag of wraps.
Nah, send us John Wall and Bradley Beal. All right. Go
No.
ahead.
Whoa, Bradley?
No, you can't have Bradley.
Yeah, I give you Bradley for – I did.
Bradley and Wall.
Oh, easily I'd take that trade.
Okay.
Yeah.
I trade them 100 times over.
I wouldn't do that trade.
And Justin Robinson.
I wouldn't do that trade, but what I'm saying is this. I'm growing concerned. Like, I want him to be great. Huh?
He's not even 22.
I know, he's 21.
Yeah,
he's got a lot to learn.
He's got 15 years worth of NBA left.
No.
15?
Huh?
The motherfuckers at least got 16, 17 looking at the way LeBron and these guys are starting to play.
I'm just giving him an average.
Years old.
I just give him an average.
It's just frustrating.
I mean, it's one game back. Like
No, I've been saying this all year.
Mm.
I saw it last year.
I mean,
and then I was like, all right.
Kristaps and him had some good plays, though.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to be a bad duo, but I'm saying, like, our prospects for this year is just shit.
You guys lost on a fluke. Oh, yeah. That game got tied on a fluke. James Harden tried to make that free throw.
No, that's because I forgot his name, but he couldn't box out for shit. Oh, Jesus Christ. But I've had issues with his defense before, too. But, I mean, he shut down Zion at one point. But then it's like the fundamentals just boxing out. Like, just box out Covington.
I mean, but Covington went under the basket.
He went around him.
Yeah.
Box him out.
I mean, you expect someone to go straight up for a rebound, and he went
Someone should not be able to go around you, then go under the rim, and then tap the ball in. That should not happen.
He's got a long last name. I mean, he's got to have something for that, right?
No.
Covington.
Fuck that.
But I will say, overall, while I am still anti all sports in the age of COVID, as I've continued to beat that drum for the last few months. Thank you for playing my drum for me. Appreciate it. The NBA literally has the only concept of doing this where it works, but in order to do something like this on any grander scale is almost you can't. And I think baseball is kind of. Are we talking about baseball?
Well, sure.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about it.
Like, I got this.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't want to step on the topic if we were going to go there.
Yeah, no. You can segue. We can meld them because it makes sense because all.
Yeah. Segue was going to be like going from the sport that's actually working to one that's not.
Well, two sports that are working. Hockey.
The MLB format.
The Chell format is working miraculously. There's fucking 14 hours of games on today. No COVID tests or no COVID positive tests.
Wow. That's sick. I mean, I think baseball's over.
They can't go. There's no way it continues.
Yeah.
There's no way.
All I know is that Rob Manfred has now single-handedly become the worst commissioner in all of sports. But he has been for a minute. But
he said he's going to shut it down if player safety is an issue, and it's clearly becoming an issue.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like it's along the same lines as far as look at it from a national level and look at what the NBA is doing. Look at what works and what doesn't work. Okay. The NBA has a framework in which even if a human does stupid shit, a la ordering your wings from across the street at Magic City, you can isolate and remove that person from the equation quickly, which is what should be happening like in the country, is that there's nothing to stop anybody from doing dumb shit and spread it around.
You mean like going clubbing?
Going clubbing without masks, which, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going clubbing with or without a mask, like doing that sort of shit. Or you have, when it comes to Miami, the Marlins players, which has become ground zero for all of this shit, is you had what the rumor was is that they were in Atlanta and a few of the players didn't feel like staying in a hotel or what have you, so they went out to a few of the bars. All it takes is one. It's a huge domino effect. Mm-hmm. And you got to get – it's – I don't understand. Like, this virus to me is so indicative of just how selfish people can be.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what – it's just –
but we knew this.
But
yeah, this has been my argument the whole time, that you can't – if you have a large amount of players and it only takes one, your chances of having the season get shut down is much greater because
100%.
you only need one dumb person. If one person from Miami had gone out to the bar and come back and had it, we'd be in the same fucking position.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's
and then it spreads to different teams because they're playing against each other.
And the MLB is not stopping the games soon enough. Like the Phillies played the Twins. The Phillies have some, but the Twins played last night. Like what? Right. Like shut it down. There's no like Mike Trout just left yesterday. I don't know what day it is.
I think so. No,
yesterday or the day before for paternity leave. He's not coming back. There is no chance that we see Mike Trout again this year. Yeah. And I don't blame him.
And there was, I think it was a Blue Jays player or a Marlins player that said, like, yeah, I'm opting out now. I'm not.
Yeah, there's
I'm
a
not
Marlins
playing.
player that didn't test positive, but he was around enough of them, and he was just like, if my team is this dumb, I'm not here. Why am I doing this?
Exactly.
And Lorenzo Cain from the Brewers, done. Like,
he just opted out?
Yeah, the elites are all going to opt out.
What's the point?
What's the point of playing what's basically an exhibition season that doesn't really count as far as I'm concerned?
And it will be an asterisk.
Yeah.
People are not going to count this. No. If you win, they're not going to count it as they're not. There's already people like right now already saying this bullshit.
I say that as a Washington football team fan who won 2 Super Bowls in a strike shortened season, so I don't want to hear this asterisk bullshit.
It is. It is what it is.
The Super Bowls count just as much as any other Super Bowl. Thank you very much.
It is what it is.
They still got rings for it. But
it is what it is.
I mean,
we got rings for it, but it's an asterisk.
Like, no, there are no asterisks. There are no Super Bowl.
It is what it is.
I love seeing Mookie Betts throw 350-foot seeds to get somebody out at third, but not at the expense of not having Mookie Betts here next year.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. I mean, I want Mike Trout to have a 30-year career, which he very well may. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And I'm not willing to let, some 20-year-olds from the Marlins or some 20-year-olds from – I mean, I'm not saying they're all young, but they're mostly the young players. I'm not willing to let them cut down another decade of awesome baseball.
They shouldn't allow one person to ruin the whole league, the whole season.
Yeah, and
it should have been a bubble format like the NBA. I mean, I know it's more people, but
it doesn't matter. You go to one of those. You see them when you're, from the air. Sometimes if you're ever in an airplane ever again, you see those things where they got like the 5 or 7 fields, right? And you just fucking shut that down, and you take over the hotel that's right there, and then you play all your games like a Little League baseball field.
The thing would be like practice and weightlifting, like to be able to practice.
With the billions of dollars that the MLB has, they could have figured it the fuck out. Rob Manfred, suck my Manfred.
Oh, yeah. And then what else did he do? He suspended Joe Kelly for 8 games, which amounts to 22 games of a regular season.
I mean, in fairness, that was hilarious. But they did say, if you do this, here are the consequences. And Joe Kelly went,
but he didn't do shit for the Astros.
Because Rob Manfred is doing everything he can do to not hold himself or the Astros accountable for the cheating scandal. So he put that out there that everybody's supposed to leave him alone, and no one's going to be okay with that, which is why you had Twitter and everyone else coming to Joe Kelly's defense. And I will promise you, if there are more games to be played, those motherfuckers are going to continuously get fucked with, regardless of some 8-game suspension on the season no one gives a shit about.
Especially, because the season doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Ridiculous punishment. It was a ridiculous punishment.
I can't wait to see actual hands be thrown. And it will come. It will come. Woo.
I mean, I don't know if it will. I don't know if it will just based on the fact that the season's about to be canceled.
Wait, what? Yeah, but what? My point is, let's say Houston play. Who do they play? Let's say Houston goes out tonight against hold please. Houston is playing the Angels. The Angels already don't care. They just throw behind them and throw some hands and get booted for the whole season. You get to go home. You don't have to catch the COVID.
And you
count me in. I'm in. Yeah, fuck it.
But see, that's
I just don't like. Look, just don't throw at the head.
Oh, fuck that. Throw at these motherfuckers' heads.
Not at the head.
Where's Roughneck Odor when we need that?
Who did Kelly throw? I can't pronounce the last name.
Carlos Correa.
Correa. That's the same dude that said in the interview if you don't know about what's going on, I want you to shut the fuck up or shut the hell up. Oh, we coming for your head, boy. Like, there's
Not the head, man.
No, fuck that.
No, just hit him in the ribs.
Yeah, the ribs, like, I don't give a shit if you throw at the batter. Just don't hit him in the fucking head so you can kill them.
No, but he threw behind him.
You throw behind it. I'm not saying you don't.
He knows where he's throwing.
They're professional. They know what they're doing.
Right. So you're like, yeah, it's okay. Throw at their heads. No, that's stupid.
At their heads, not hit them in the head. But
I already got
at their heads. You're gonna hit. All right.
That's what Joe Kelly just did.
It was amazing.
It was high and behind him.
Yeah, don't throw at their heads, man. That's the only issue I had with it. Just don't throw at their heads.
The Astros would have gotten some sort of sympathy from me if they were at least contrite in what it is that happened. But they weren't contrite, and they had the commissioner of the MLB come and save their asses while putting everybody at risk for this bullshit that we're calling a sport this year. It's nothing but absolute dog shit. It's stupid.
I bought this shirt. I hate the Dodgers more than anything, but this shit.
But you even hear it as far as they said Dusty Baker was talking shit before Joe Kelly said a fucking thing.
Oh, Dusty Baker, you can hear everything, and it's fantastic.
It was great. But I don't think it was not. I think it was right after he said that. Right after he said nice thing.
No, it was before.
No, he said get your ass back on the mound.
Yeah. It was before that you heard somebody from the dugout say something motherfucker.
Oh yeah, that's
he said get back on the mound, motherfucker.
Before any of that shit happened, you heard them talking shit from that dugout.
Nah, but I don't think Dusty Baker would say something like to initiate anything.
Yeah,
I think there was
fuck
something
Dusty Baker.
done. Why?
Because fuck him. He also he's talked shit about the Nats, number one, so fuck him. Number two,
why? What did he say?
He used to be here. Then he was talking about
how
glad he was that he left.
What did he say? What did he say about the Nats?
How glad he was that he left and how much he appreciates being a fucking part of these cheating ass Texas organization that he's now part of.
Did you say that?
Yes, so fuck him. I don't give a fuck about Dusty Baker.
Yeah, all right, I need to read that. He was with the Giants too. So
did he play for the Reds?
I gotta see what he said.
Didn't he play for the Reds, Dusty?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too.
But then, when they
were betting on themselves,
his response to the entire
I think that was one person.
His response to the entire cheating scandal, everything. Well, we're just gonna move on. We're just gonna move. Man, fuck that. Fuck him. Fuck that whole organization.
He wasn't there when that happened.
But
he was there when it came to light.
Yeah,
and his response to it when it came to light was, "We're just gonna move on from this."
What would you say, Ron?
I'd be like, I had no part of it, but fuck these people. Then I get fired.
All right.
I can't look. There's a difference between what they were doing and I hate the Patriots, but not because they cheat, because I don't think any of that is actually cheating. I think the Patriots are just very good, and that's why I just like watching them win all the time.
Man, fuck
it's more of a jealousy. Houston, if you look at their spreads from home hitting and away hitting, you can see that they cheated. They cheated their way to a championship. You don't have a 900 OPS at home and then a 280 OPS on the road unless somebody's helping you out every single fucking player.
That's nuts.
It was so anybody can look at the Patriots and talk more shit about what the Patriots scandals compared to this shit. You've lost your fucking mind.
You lost your goddamn mind.
Lost your mind.
The Patriots,
as far as any competitive advantage that the Patriots itself got, I still think they're completely overblown. Oh shit! I think I just unplugged myself.
Yeah. All right. So I think the difference between the Patriots and the Astros, right, is the Astros got caught this time, right, and then all this shit happened. The Patriots have been caught multiple times doing multiple different things.
Huh? Yeah, but doing what? That's the point. Doing what?
Deflating the footballs.
Bullshit. And the deflating of the football.
Are you a Patriots fan now?
No, I'm just a defender. I don't defend bullshit.
I don't know how.
I'm not gonna hop on like everybody else.
I don't know either, but they obviously did it for a reason.
But we can see how the Astros cheating astronomically helped them win a championship.
That was nuts.
There is no correlating evidence that I've seen between what the Patriots have done cheating, which is, hey,
videotaping the sidelines.
That's just information you could get from your high school coach who went there too. That's an advantage.
Who's not looking at a sideline? If you have assistant coaches that look on the sideline looking for anything.
Yeah.
See what you're doing right now is like if they say that you can't do this shit for this reason.
I'm saying it's still illegal.
Okay.
You shouldn't, but I'm saying the correlation between what the Patriots did versus how much it benefited them versus
I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that.
The Astros won a championship.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Wholly based off cheating.
Yeah.
And good
pitching. That was nuts. They had very all I'm saying pitching. Is they did like the Astros did some fuck shit, right?
Yeah.
If they do some fuck shit again,
they might get blackballed.
Yeah.
Okay, the Patriots did some fuck shit before.
Yeah, but
it wasn't on the same level. It wasn't on the same level.
Right.
Calm down, Kadeem. They did it multiple times, is what I'm saying.
Who cares?
Yeah, but it didn't win them a championship.
What?
I care.
Their cheating didn't help you with your fucking tuck rule. It didn't help them with shit. They still won games. They were still the best fucking franchise in the NFL for the last decade. You cannot say the same thing about the Houston Astros. You can't even be close to say the same thing about the Houston Astros.
The Houston Astros had dirty pitching.
Get this through your mind right now. Yeah. Relax.
There are stages.
I'm saying this. The Astros did some wild shit.
You're saying the Patriots did it more than once. I don't give a fuck. If I trip somebody and make them fall more than once. No, if I trip you and make you fall more than once, I'm going to say it's a little less bad than if I shoot you in the fucking face.
Yeah, the Patriots got speeding
so
tickets.
that's the difference right there. That's the difference.
They murdered someone. The Patriots sped on the way to the game. The Patriots were in a race and was like, we're going to speed a little bit. What the Astros did was say, I'm going to shoot the other racers in the face.
Yeah. Right. It was a more grievous offense.
Well, look, here's why I look at it. Fuck both of them. All right? If you want to be with the Patriots, fuck them.
That's a fair
That's a fair thing to say.
Yeah.
I'm saying
I've been saying the shit the whole time, but you're like, no, you can't be this bad.
You're trying to compare them as equal.
I'm not comparing them. I'm saying they both did some fuck shit. I'm saying this.
There we go. You're very, very bad explaining it. So that's you got two guys. You got two guys saying that's what you were saying.
No, I said this. The Astros did some wild shit.
Right.
That's terrible.
Right.
Yes.
They did it one time.
Right.
Yes.
How is that comparison? When I'm saying
Finish your thought. Finish the thought that you kept saying.
I said they did it one time.
And then
the Pats did some fucked up shit too.
Right.
Keep going.
Multiple times.
Right. Got it. So now what did you just do? You said
one person is one time. You said the other person has
No. See, look. No, that's where you fucked up. I didn't say they were at the same level, did I?
No.
Did I say they were at the same level?
But
no.
You described them both as fuck shit.
So why would you be arguing the point that
I said
made?
One was wild as fuck, like stupidly bad.
So why were you arguing?
The Patriots did some fuck shit multiple times. That's all I said.
Why did you counter the point? So what I said at the start of this entire thing, which the only reason you said anything was to counter what I said, was that if anyone were to compare what the Houston Astros did to the New England Patriots, they're a fucking idiot. That's what I said.
I didn't argue that point. I didn't argue that point.
So why'd you argue it?
I did not argue that point.
Ryan, did he argue it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, we'll look back at it.
We'll roll the tape back.
We'll
go to the tape.
I'll roll it back 20 times. We're going to have a special video where this exchange happens just 20 times.
Yeah. And what I'm saying now is the Astros did some wild shit. The Patriots did infractions. Does that make you feel better? Infractions multiple times. Illegal infractions.
Yes.
Cheating. They cheated multiple times.
Yes.
Call it is what it is. So fuck both of them. That's how I feel.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
Cheating is bad, okay? But the Astros cheated worse. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I agree.
They're crimes.
They cheated their way to a championship.
Yes, except until this team
but don't throw at their fucking heads.
Did the shit.
Don't throw at their fucking heads.
I'm saying that I can't think of, other than actually betting on the sport and throwing a game, I can't think of another way in which it's worse.
I'm glad you added that part.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if you bet on yourself,
no.
I don't have an issue with that.
Yeah, not Pete Rose. We're
What's
not
all
talking
Yeah,
about
like
people.
I didn't have an issue with him betting on himself. I didn't see why.
What is it? The Black Sox scandal? We're talking about way back shit.
Yeah,
I'm saying
yeah.
I can't imagine something worse in professional sports than what the Astros did. That have been confirmed to have happened. And what makes me upset is that when people look at things in this whole cheating landscape aspect, is that you run these false equivalencies when they're not. And you have the Astros have walked away scot-free. And not only scot-free, they also walk away with, you got guys like, what is it, Carrera, he said? You got guys like that jackass who says, if you don't know what happened in our building, shut the fuck up, which means you're not contrite, you're not apologetic at all, and you've cheated your way to a chip, fuck you. You don't deserve to play the game.
I agree with that. But at the same time, you should not be throwing at anybody's head.
They should be scared off the fucking diamond. And if that means throwing at some goddamn heads like old school baseball, there you got some old school traditional baseball for me. I mean, I'm down with that.
You're making people – they have made people – pitchers, professional pitchers who know what their pitchers can do if they hit you in the head. They've got them that mad.
Do you remember a few months ago we talked about you had the pitcher that lost his job playing against the Astros, and the depression that sinks in, everything else. So you're telling me these guys who can't even find it within themselves to apologize, that have the commissioner protecting them and willing to do all these other things. Yeah, that pisses me off. If I'm Joe Kelly, I'm throwing a motherfucker's head because they've ruined people.
You could be pissed off and not throw at somebody's head.
I mean, the only reason get pissed off and pull guns out on folks. Why is a baseball not that bad?
Oh, so it's the same shit?
I mean, you get that angry.
Is any of them right?
No.
But I'm not upset at like them throwing at him. Like, fuck it, I don't care. But like to throw at somebody's head, you can possibly kill them.
Titties down.
I feel like you guys are forgetting the impact of people getting hit in the head.
Titties down.
Depends on how fast the ball's going.
Yeah, I take a curveball off the head.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Also, usually wearing a helmet.
Y'all being dickheads, but okay.
Also, they should be expecting it every time they're up there.
Yeah, they should.
Heads on swivels. Like, that's what it should come down
Heads tucked into neck.
That's my thing is that I need those guys when they walk up to bat to be shaking. Yes. It should be that they go to Manfred and they're like, we don't want to play anymore. Like, that's what I want.
They need to put the whole team in rice.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing is that, like, I get what you're saying as far as nobody should have to die. But what Joe Kelly did was
they're already playing during COVID. Who cares?
That's also a good point. He threw high and he threw behind him. I get it.
Y'all don't believe the shit that y'all was saying.
I kind of believe the shit that I'm saying.
I kind of
So
do.
since they're playing through COVID, like you can throw at their heads and kill them. Fuck it.
You know, they're already out there taking a significant health risk.
Really, sign waivers. These baseball players are getting paid more than the UFC and the boxing guys, at least the mid-card guys. So at the end of the day, if those guys are risking their lives, some of these Astro players need to risk their lives too.
There's a difference.
I mean, Rob Manfred's protecting them more from COVID because they're Astros.
If it was Adam Silver,
I'm not on Rob Manfred's side at all. Like, don't put me on his side.
If it was Adam Silver, who's actually a progressive, good commissioner, what he would have said is that the Astros have now become the team of death. So you're allowed to beat them off of bases. You're allowed to do whatever you need to do to make the point across. So it's like in this shortened season, you can do whatever you want to the Astros.
All right, no. Let's go to it. What would he have done? Like realistically, like not the bullshit you just said. Realistically, what would he have done? Like if you think that it was an NBA team that did like whatever to equate to what the Astros did, what would you done? Okay,
you vacate the championship. Mm-hmm. Anyone that had any involvement is suspended for an entire year at a minimum. You find the fuck out of the organization. You take away all their picks. You give them damn near everything beyond the death kill. Yeah. You got like NCAA. You got USC has Reggie Bush and all these other guys they might have paid a few players and they get death sentences. You got a team that cheated their way to a championship. They made a mockery of a game in a sport that's lasted longer than any other one.
Not just any sport, America's pastime.
No. You guys are talking to me like I'm disagreeing. I'm saying that it should be further than that.
Oh, I mean, not for the – so
like, Kadeem's like, just suspended for a year at minimum. I'm like –
so if you're a player –
nah, maybe they should just not be able to play anymore.
No. So here's the thing, and here's why I disagree. If you're a player, you're an employee. So either you're on board or you're not. So I'm guessing the majority of the players were on board, because if you're not, you're going back down to the minors and they'll find someone that will, that will go along with the program. That front office, that owner, all should be suspended forever. They should get Pete Rose. They should never be able to get into the Hall of Fame. But the players, I think a full year suspension. And I'm sorry if you picked up, a player from, Houston. A lot of them are still fucking there, because I see how many players. At least I see the players that are in Houston.
Altuve's still there, right?
And guess what? Then Houston should have to compensate you for that year that this player that you just got from them is going to miss. And if that's a Carlos Correa, that could be a $50 million whoopsie on behalf of Houston. But that whole front office and that owner should be required to sell the team. And that's how bad it should have been.
I agree with you.
I agree 1,000%. One person.
But
I agree.
But here's the thing with baseball. Here's the thing that always has worked in baseball. If you some fuckboy in baseball, guess what happens? Your ass gets corrected on the diamond.
Yeah.
You have your reputation and you're going to get yours, which means there are balls that are going to be flying past your goddamn head. You're going to get hit in the ribs a few fucking times. And you're going to have a team saying, come and meet me on the mound. I'm going to knock your ass out.
Jose Bautista was talking to his trash, and Roughneck Odor said, I'm done.
Yeah.
And he cracked him. He hit him right in the mouth. His glasses went flying. And you know what? That's justice sometimes. I mean, you see it in football all the time.
What happened in that game, by the way? What was the penalty for that, during the game when Batista
they both got ejected, and then I think they did a couple – there's 3 or 4 games, I think, and Roughneck got 8 because Roughneck actually clocked him. But,
what's that in comparison? Let's say that happened you remember it was Jalen Ramsey and A.J. Green, right?
They got 2, right? Or 1 game?
I think it was 1. It was 1 or 2.
1 or 2. So if you think 162 game season, 1 game after a 16 game season, it's exactly the same penalty. I mean, sometimes it's sports. I get heated playing pickup basketball. I'm going to punch somebody in the face. I get it if you're a professional.
AJ should have got more hits in though.
AJ didn't look great.
What I'm saying is bringing it back to the baseball thing is that in hockey, motherfuckers will handle it right there on the ice with fists. So I'm saying is that if you were looking at to the point that you were trying to make as far as trying to gauge my seriousness as far as throwing at their heads or what have you, how many MLB players have died because they got hit in the head with a baseball pitch?
How many times have MLB players been hit in the head?
Not very often.
Not very often.
Okay.
But there are.
So if you're saying that they're going to throw at their heads.
Okay, but here's how many times.
How often?
It happens a lot more often than you're giving it credit for.
No, I don't know. I'm asking.
No, it happens a lot. It's part of it.
They get thrown at their heads a lot.
Yes. You ever seen a player have to duck down from a pitch?
I don't watch baseball as much as you do.
Fair.
Oh yeah, David Wright got punched. David Wright got hit.
I don't watch baseball as much as y'all do. I just see on Sports Center when it's you guys should look away, and then bam, he gets hit in the head.
So ask us for understanding instead of having this big hardcore thing about being people throwing at their heads.
No, I'm saying just don't throw at people's heads.
I'm saying that it's a part of the game.
I think
it's stupid.
Hold on, in the history of the MLB. Only 1 person has died from being hit in the head, and that was Ray Chapman, who died August 17th, the year of our Lord, 1920.
Rest in peace.
And hold on, was it a pitch that hit him, or did the ball get hit?
Oh, that's a good question. Because those are nuts too.
Also, it was before helmets were worn. So
right. So that's my point: is the throwing at somebody's head, the onus that you have, or the feeling that you have about that. Is completely different than what happens in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get a concussion.
Baseball, period. Yeah, you get a concussion.
My feelings for that are different just because of, my head injuries. I take the shit seriously.
That's fair.
So if someone throws a ball at my head, I'm coming with the bat.
Yes, and
I'm not going to sit there and
that's fair.
I
don't want to do that, though.
Well, here's the thing. You never put yourself in that situation. You wouldn't cheat yourself to a panic.
Oh, no.
What?
You froze halfway through, so you went
Here's the thing.
Did I give a sick? I know I didn't do a sick high like he just did.
You did that. You did that.
All right, fine. I cut out. What I'm saying is that you wouldn't have cheated your way to a penny.
Yeah, you didn't do anything wrong. I'm saying these people have committed
They've committed
a
the
terrible
sin of all sins.
Yeah, they committed a terrible offense.
Whose fault is it that we are in this situation where we have to talk about this?
I
blame the Astros and the commissioner for not doing anything.
Oh, yeah. I hate Rob Manfred. I think that –
because I can understand it. Like, if someone does something to you and there's no justice – that's when people bring up street justice.
Yes,
and that's
no
my
justice,
whole thing.
no peace.
These guys should know all season long people are gonna get suspended because they're gonna come after these guys,
and
they need to come after these guys.
I know the Astros.
But I think the point that I have to make is that the street justice aspect is necessary.
Yeah,
if you're gonna have a commissioner that we already know has no balls,
he's terrible.
Right, and if you have a commissioner that has no balls, how are you gonna protect the safety of the game?
Let me ask you this question then: let's say this whole thing continues, right? They get the shit under control, like COVID-wise, and Astros are still getting balls thrown at their head every game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One connects, somebody dies. Okay. What's going to happen in that? What's going to happen with that? Like, what do you see happening from that?
I think a lot of people are going to say, oh, man, that sucks. They shouldn't have cheated.
I mean – it's gonna.
Well, you know what? You're right. Just because of how fucked up the world is.
Yeah, it's
especially on Twitter.
It would be. I mean, the MLB already has like more black eyes than they have eyes this year.
And everybody would know that if it happened, it wouldn't be. I don't think. Purpose.
Here's the thing. I don't think that anybody's throwing at the Astros. They should be throwing at the head, but I think they're throwing at them to like, you know how like you'll throw a bottle next to someone to get them to get out of their seat so that you can then go fight them. That's what's happening.
You know what? And another thing is, like, I'm equating it to my arm control, which is shit.
Yeah, these guys are
dog. Yeah. What the fuck are you doing?
I know, but like,
wait, wasn't it Joe Kelly who during COVID hit the fucking window?
And he hit the window. So I'm like, he had this big ass like bullseye.
Yeah.
So
he threw. It went around the shit and broke a window.
Yeah, that's what I think. You got to understand when you say.
But wait, I feel like he did that shit on purpose because he knew he was going to throw it.
Well, here's the thing. You got to understand.
He's like, look, I know I'm going to throw at him, so I'm going to put this video out there so they think that I don't have the best control.
No, but dude, he walked off down.
Look.
Yeah, he's a.
Yeah, he was not hiding anything at all. He was very proud of what he did.
Free Joe Kelly.
But that's the thing. It's the difference between throwing.
I hate the Dodgers, though.
If we had said,
damn,
I don't right now.
Look, if we had
I still do. Fuck the Dodgers,
James. If we said that, all right, they should hit them in the head, is different to throw at the head.
I equate one and two the same, just because
they're not. That's what I'm saying is that they're not. In baseball, it's not the same because these guys do have arm control. If they wanted to hit people in the head, guess what they could do?
They could hit
motherfuckers in the head.
Kelly didn't. Right? Joe Kelly didn't have control.
Shut up.
No, but throwing behind somebody is basically the same as it's like in the 1700s if you slapped a man in the face with a glove. Huh! I challenge you to a duel. That is the same thing in effect. You throw behind someone. I'm saying I could kill you right now, but I'm giving you the opportunity to come to me so we can slap each other with our baseball mitts. That's what you're doing. And guess what? I hope it happens all fucking year.
Well, I mean, I hope nobody gets hit in the head.
I hope nobody gets severely injured, but I hope that the Astros learn a terrifying lesson.
I hope there's fights every game.
I do too. I hope the bench is clear every game.
I hope there's fights every game just to prove to the fucking commissioner that you should not have done this stupid shit and then have people like knock this dude out of whatever position of power he has.
We came full circle. See?
He should not be the commissioner.
Does anybody want to
fight? You can't fuck this up this bad and still be in power.
I have a conspiracy.
To circle back, does anybody want to fight on other teams? Does anybody want to fight Tom Brady? No. And that's how you know that what the Astros did was 1,000 times worse than what the Patriots did.
Tom Brady's still respected. The Astros are
not. Tom Brady, do you see the weapons he has right now? I'm sorry, we got to switch because
it's not even 100% about Tom though. I think they.
Does anybody think
a lot of the blame went to Bill?
Does anybody think less of Bill Belichick?
How many players would cut the left nut off to go play for Bill?
Yeah, because they just want to win, and they know that it's not going to be put on them.
How many?
But
players,
but you have the NFL players also.
But it's nowhere near as worse as the Astros.
But here's but I'm saying no. Here's what I'm saying is that the Patriots stuff that they say are cheating, no one gives a fuck about except talking heads on TV. None of the players care. None of the players care, unless that's what I'm saying. It just never was. But
you also got to remember that like the type of athlete that plays football, like.
But if
I'm
your
not
competition
gonna,
doesn't care,
it's extreme ownership, right? Like I'm not gonna say like because you played the football that y'all beat our asses.
No, that's not especially not in no. It's a bottom line. If you are looked upon as a cheater, I don't give a fuck what sport you're in. You lose all credibility and respect from people. There's no coming back from that,
dude.
I don't care what sport you're in.
Look at Jada.
If you still have, if you're a cheater and you win, you're still looked upon as a cheater. How many cyclists want to go hang out with Lance Armstrong? No one gives a fuck.
I'm not a cyclist. I don't care.
Lance Armstrong is one of the most hated figures ever because of how much he
did win by cheating. I don't care.
I'm saying if you follow it, you would hate him. But I'm saying is that I don't know what that is. At the end of the day. Like, why'd you bring the Patriots thing back up? God damn it!
It depends. It depends how you cheat, and that's all I'm gonna say.
If I'm Donald Trump, what I'm doing right now is paying off every MLB player to throw in the hit at Astros players so that they can wrap up the baseball season and not blame COVID. The whole league's just suspended because they took their problems on the Astros.
So we have a group of guys playing a very high stakes fantasy baseball league, which none of us believe the league's going to end. So now we have started putting our money on what we call death dates, where the league will come to an end. And it's like it's the same as having what is it, Price is Right, where you can be over but you can't be under. And some of these you can be you can be over, but you can be
you could be under but not over.
Oh, under but not over. That's correct. So some of these guesses are pretty absurd. Like the closest one is Wednesday.
I'm feeling Friday.
I don't think we make it past the weekend.
This weekend?
You're talking about for MLB, right?
Mm-hmm. I think this weekend's it.
If we don't, we should scrap this part of the episode.
No, it makes. All we're going to do is push the hate that's not going to go away. It's going to be next year. And remember how COVID came in right after this happened? Seems like the Astros were, the
Astros are responsible for COVID.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Well, moving off from baseball, right? I'm looking at how stupid the commissioner is in terms of everything that he's doing for keeping the season going, right? And the prospects of the season actually finishing. And I'm saying that the NFL right now has a chance to figure some shit out quickly so that the season can actually happen.
Did you see what happened?
The only way I think it can happen is in a bubble.
That is by far, if you look at what every other sport everywhere else is doing, the Prem included, they're not in a bubble. But those teams are quarantined at all times. Like, if you play for a team in the Prem and you leave your fucking house, they know.
Serge Aurier?
That was like months ago.
Rest in peace to his brother, by the way.
Damn, that sucks. But if you look at it like the NHL, they went up to Canada 3 weeks before the season and quarantined every single player. And then, before scrimmages, they tested every single player. And everyone was clean. And every one of the fucking personnel was clean. And they were like, cool, we're ready to start. There's no other way to do it. If you want to play football, get 5 stadiums, 4 stadiums, I don't know, 6 stadiums. No one's going to have home field anyway. There's no fans. Put them all in a bubble. And then you play round-robin games for – I don't know, 3-4 weeks. I don't know how many teams you got in there. And then guess what? You go to a different bubble and you sit for 2 weeks And we don't get football.
I could see that working if they had multiple bubbles.
Yeah,
but,
and then you do like a 2-week quarantine when you get to the next bubble. We don't get football for a week.
But here's the thing.
And then
they should have had this shit done already. They should have a plan, like this type of plan already.
But here's the problem. COVID, nobody knows. Like, we know how it's transmitted, but it's tough to gauge what the right thing to do would be. Obviously, Rob Manfred, being the fucking genius that he is, picked the wrong way. Obviously, the NBA and the NHL, they were like, well, we see how they're doing it literally everywhere else but here. So we're going to try that way that seems to be working. The NFL, I mean, but they could, with the amount of money the NFL has, they could set it up in the next 6 to 8 weeks. They'd have no problem. I have a question for you guys. Although the Bills rookies just
they got sent home.
It's an impossibility.
But it's so smart that they sent them home instead of one Bills rookie tested positive or two, and they sent everyone home. They were like, you know what? Fuck it, go home. We don't want to see any of you anymore. And that's a good. It's bad that they had positive tests, but it's good that was the reaction. Not let's quarantine these two players and continue rookie practices, because there's definitely other rookies who now have it. Their response was, fuck it, go home.
Yeah, I mean, I would have quarantined everybody, like not send them.
That's what they're doing.
Off.
That's what they're doing. They sent them home means that they disbanded camp. Camp is over.
All right, cool.
I don't think the NFL has. I don't think it's logistically possible. I think
that's fair.
If there was any sport, any two sports, as far as from an ease standpoint of playing and be able to replay on the same surface, to be able to do the bubble environment sort of thing, it's baseball and hockey. NFL, you'd have to find a field that could withstand that much play. You'd have to, because that grass is going to be fucked.
So I heard a very smart person.
Who played on dirt?
No, so what you would do is you'd set it up in a state like Ohio or like Texas, where you have the ability to play on both a professional field or any of the college fields, which are basically pro fields.
Yeah.
And you could bubble in the pro fields and the college fields and play round robin games on those. And then by the time you're done with one, you get those fucking greensmen are fucking insane. They can go out and resod. They can resod a field in like.
Look, I was told about like if you were to bubble the DMV, like in the sense of you find an area like you look at Washington D.C. You could have FedEx Field, Audi Field if they did some adjustments. You could have they haven't blown up RFK just yet. You could go to University of Maryland, M&T Bank up here in Baltimore. You can do a combination of those things. But 32 teams. It's not like basketball, which already did the process of elimination, got it down to 22, and the team size is not incomparable, right?
So
to an NFL
you would have to make some concessions in terms of, like the MLB tried to do, they didn't do it correctly. But there's no like the Dodgers play the Mets every year. We're not playing any team that's not on the East Coast. So you just have to make concessions where it might be a 10-game season. 8 of those games are in conference, the 2 and 2, and you play 2 games out of conference, and those are people that are already on your coast, like the Washington football team might play the Saints or something.
And we also have another team that's in Dallas. The conferences don't even make sense in the NFL. You have teams that don't.
Right, but you wouldn't have home. You wouldn't have home games. You wouldn't have home games. So you would all move to a certain place, and then so Dallas and the Washington football team would both be in Baton Rouge, or they'd be in New York, or wherever they decided they wanted to play. Mm-hmm. And then you would only play those in-conference games, and then you would take a break for 2 weeks, bring in your other 2 non-conference games, then you all would play, and then the season would be over.
Cool. You're also talking about, from a logistical standpoint, the active roster in an NFL team is 53.
I know.
At a minimum. You have training staff, you have facilities. Outside of that, in the NBA bubble, they have 22 teams. They have 22 teams right now with what's the size of an entire roster?
15?
9 to 10?
15 with bench.
15 with bench, right?
Or 16 with bench, I think.
Then they have a dedicated lab for the bubble is what they're running through. How the fuck are you going to process on a daily basis?
Multiple bubbles.
I'm literally just spitballing.
But that's my point, is that all these ideas, the NFL, what they're doing is basically saying we're hoping and praying that we could possibly do something. You guys opt out, but at the end of the day, they could turn off the switch if anything. I'm looking for the NFL to do. All I'm looking for the NFL to do is to say, like, I get that right now the country's past the point we're already opening up. I've lost that battle. I've lost the battle as far as that goes. Now that they are opening up, all I want are people that have the wherewithal to turn it off. If it comes down to it, to turn it off. If there are people that die on account of this shit, no excuse. You have to be able to just turn the shit off if it looks as though like we can't do it logistically. But I can understand them trying to at least attempt to make it look a certain way.
Yeah. I mean, and that's I would like to think that if I was Rob Manfred or if I was, God forbid, Roger Goodell, I'd probably have offed myself by now. But let's just say I was.
I'd be talking to Adam Silver.
I would.
It's not comparable.
I would be talking to.
You can get something from him.
I would be talking to Dr. Birx or Dr. Fauci and be like.
They talked to Fauci.
No,
yeah,
I'd be like.
Offered his input.
I would be like, does this work? And if I got
Fauci said it would.
He said there's no way you could do it without a bubble.
Right, but he said that what the NBA was doing as far as the bubble was the only way that you could. He said it wasn't 100%, but he said it was the best possible idea you had going forward.
Okay, then I would give that a shot. And if it didn't work,
that's the only way you can do it.
I would shut it down.
Football
but that's where it goes to. From a logistical standpoint, there's no way, regardless of how many great ideas. Like I said at the beginning of this thing, there are no great ideas, just the best of bad ones.
Yeah.
And but you have certain leagues, especially NFL, where once you start looking at the numbers, it's completely impractical.
Here's the thing, and I hope it's the same with baseball. Now that we've seen what happened with baseball, is I wouldn't mind if, look, the players have the option to opt out with not super awful consequences. So if you don't feel like you can play, then don't. Give it a shot. And if it doesn't work out, shut it down. Just shut it down. And you can shut it down before it gets out of control. I know, going back to baseball, Anthony Rizzo, to me, is insane in that he's still playing. He just beat cancer like a couple years ago.
You're right.
If I was him, I would opt out. But he doesn't have to. He's one of those players that doesn't have to be playing. He's still playing. I would give him the option to play and then see how it goes. And if anybody feels uncomfortable, shut it the fuck down. MLB is not a very good example because they should have shut down already.
Yeah.
If it was an isolated Marlins incident, fine. Just clearly not. It's the Cardinals, it's the Phillies, it's the Brewers, and that's 4 teams already, and they've played 3 other teams. So you do the math, every team has it. If it kills Pete Alonso, I'm going to murder Rob Manfred. I will murder you.
The only thing that I want to make sure is known, and the only reason I say any of this is that Adam Silver's getting a lot of props, as he should. But do not get it twisted that his job of doing what he needed to do to get the NBA up and running was the easiest of any of the sports.
Oh, yeah.
It was not even close. It's the absolute easiest to get a handle of. Number one, they don't have this real season they need to play anymore. It was all pretty much over. So they just had to get what it is they need to do to get to the playoffs. So as far from an exposure standpoint, not comparable. He has the smallest rosters of any sport, right? From a facility standpoint, there is no wear and tear on a basketball court. You can play 1,000 games in a row. It wouldn't fucking matter. All you got to do is sterilize the fucking court. You're good to go.
Your shoes might get a little squeakier if you play right after someone else. I don't know.
That's at the most, right? So it's like, from a logistical standpoint, it was night and day to any other sport. If anybody can pull it off, I give you kudos. You should be fucking president of the world at that point if you can pull some shit off like this. But it's logistically impossible, which is what I kept going back to. Everything I heard about the basketball thing sounded ludicrous to me, but when you think about it just from a common sense how you quarantine just on principle. It makes sense as long as you can keep the quarantine working. So my concern was the workers that they had as far as Disney. From what I understand, all those motherfuckers are being threatened with guns not to make sure they don't leave the campus. And then outside of that, you got to worry about players just being dumbasses but holding them accountable, which is right now you get shamed into oblivion if you do something stupid.
Yeah, if you miss a test, you don't play.
Right. So it's
if he missed the test and he was quarantined for, I think it was 10 days or something like that.
So it's one of those things where as long as they announce it, like the Green Lantern rings I wanted to make fun of, but it's like, no, they're doing everything the right way.
I mean, yeah, do as much as you can. But if you're not doing as much as you can, shut it down.
And it's still stupid.
And I think, it's dumb as hell. But I think the NFL can come back this year. So
I have to
if they quarantine
so bad. Go on.
What you say?
I'm gonna piss my pants in a second.
Oh. Just go ahead. We'll call back. I mean, we'll wait. You can cut this part out.
I'm not cutting this out.
Well, I mean,
I'm trying to think about what I'm going to put in the box now he's gone.
Oh, fair enough. But yeah, if you got, I mean, I don't want to sit here and just be like, yeah, it's not going to work. I'd rather look at ways that it could work, right? So let's say you got, it's 8 teams per bubble, right? And they're strategically placed. And if you leave, you're done, right?
Let me preface this by saying this. Adam Silver, do you know how they came up with the ideas?
No.
Any idea they came up, they said, I want you to
probably other sports, right?
Scrutinize the fuck out of it. I want you to rip this apart. So anytime they had an idea,
like lawyers,
rip it to shit, right? Yeah. So what I'm saying is that I understand having the thought process of wanting to be positive about it. I understand the thought process that you want to be solution oriented and not a complainer or not a naysayer.
I don't have an issue with you like ripping it to shreds, right? Yeah. Like, cool, but let's get somewhere with it, not just like say it's not going to work.
But see, that's my point. Is that anytime you start going down the road of trying to see how it could work, it goes to shit. And at the end of the day,
we ain't do it yet.
No, I'm saying if you think the NFL hasn't sat down with the brain trust of owners to try to figure out how it is that this thing is going to work, you lost your mind. They have. But here's the point. Regardless of whatever road they go down with an idea, the bottom line is it's stupid. So what they're going to do is they're going to pray it away for the most that they can, have people opt out if they want to, which is half the New England Patriots at this point. You have players opt out or not.
Oh, and the Chiefs too.
Right. So
the Chiefs lost the guards and the running back.
So you have people opt out if they choose to opt out, and all you do is just say, all right, let's go. And what they're going to look at is they're looking at basketball, they're looking at baseball, they're going to look at the differences. They might love what basketball is doing, but they also know they can't necessarily implement it the same play. So now they're going to look at baseball. What they're going to see with baseball as far as these numbers coming back, they're going to look at and say, all right, what's a percentage we can live with? What percentage of positive cases can we live with? Then there's going to also be in a sense of you got the team ownership is going to have to take and look after their team on a case-by-case basis to a certain degree.
Here's the thing I think that most of the professional sports owners and also probably the commissioners are not thinking about. So I know this is on a smaller scale, but I hadn't gotten my hair cut except for that one time I cut it myself and fucked the back all up. I hadn't gotten my hair cut in 6 months, 5 months, something like that, a long time. And I went back to my hair cutter person who's awesome. My hairstylist, my hair cutteries, who works at Floyd's. Shout out Floyd's. And it's a $25 haircut. I tipped her $100 because I realized she was out of work. I appreciate what she's doing. I appreciate she's out there with her mask on, trying to make a living, putting herself at risk. If baseball shuts down for the season, they're worried about losing money. If they jack up my hot dog by $2 next year and my ticket price by $4 to make some of that money back, I'm going to pay it. Like, I'm not going to not watch baseball. I'm not going to, well, Washington football team maybe. I won't go see them. But they're making their changes too. So, if you jack my already ridiculous ticket prices up by $5 to make sure that you get your money back so you can pay your players so that I can watch football on TV, I don't know anybody that won't pay that. You know what I mean? It's just backlog money I would have spent anyway.
You remember, I think it was maybe like a couple months ago, it had to be, where we were discussing if the MLB and the Players Association don't agree with this kill baseball if they didn't have a season at all, right?
Yeah.
Is what the hell's going on now worse than if they didn't play?
No, so here's the issue with what they were doing originally. What they were doing originally was, we want to play, but we're going to fuck you on how much money you're going to make this season. Right? It was never about player safety. It was about money.
Mm-hmm.
Now the issue has become, we never had an agreement on money. We just went back to the original agreement. And now it's a player safety issue. That's the problem. It was never about player safety, ever. And now the season's going to be coming to a halt because Rob Manfred, and not even him, probably team doctors and stuff, are going to be like, we're cutting out. We can't. That's the issue. My problem was that the owners look really bad because they wanted people to come play under the conditions we're now currently seeing on a fraction of what they'd regularly be making. That was the original black eye. And now we're seeing come to fruition what all the players were originally worried about, which was a massive outbreak in COVID.
Well, who decided not to have the bubble? Or was that even a thought ever?
The owners and Rob Manfred.
Yeah. And it was also hard to do from a logistical standpoint. Like, they had a couple places looked out as far as, I think, Arizona. And
yeah, they could have done it. It would have been so easy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's – I don't know.
Hey, look, Pete Alonso got a home run this year. Done. Shut it down.
He only needs one?
I mean, I'm happy with one. Holy shit.
All right. Well, to close out, right? The NFL Network does this thing every year, the top 100 list.
Yes.
Did you guys watch?
I did, but
I catch it on YouTube, the ones that I care about.
I read about
Same
it.
here. Did you see the top 10?
Yes.
Did you see who was number 1?
Yes.
Go on.
What about number 4?
I mean, that's the big debate, right?
What did you think? Well, who do you think should have been number 1?
Okay, so number 1 was Lamar Jackson.
Yep, and number 2 was Russell Wilson. Number 3 was Aaron Donald. Number 4 is Mahomes.
Yep.
And I think number 5 was Michael Thomas. And number 6 was Christian McCaffrey. I think number 8 was DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, it all sounds right.
I think number 7 was Gilmore.
I thought Gilmore was like
Gilmore
9.
might be number 9. Yeah. What'd you guys think?
Lamar Jackson's not the number 1 player in the NFL.
Yeah.
I think he was at the time.
Lamar Jackson's not the number 1 player in the NFL.
From my understanding, like, the vote was done before, like during the Pro Bowl, so before the Super Bowl and all that other shit. And Lamar Jackson did just win the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see players voting on that just based on, like, who's the MVP. So I'm not mad at Lamar Jackson being number 1.
They don't do that usually, though, for NFL top 100.
What do you mean?
I don't think it's usually just whoever the MVP is.
No, I don't think so either, but I'm saying I can see votes going that way because of it.
Oh, no, that's fair. He's not the number 1 player in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. I'm just pissed that they put him at number 4.
If you think
He's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to show the league next year, and then that just hurts us.
Do we think Lamar Jackson is better than Aaron Donald?
Based on the importance of the position, I could say yes. Like the gap between Aaron Donald and the next best player.
That's never been one of the criteria as far as the top 100. The top 100 is who's the best player.
No. You can't do that because
everybody has their own sort of.
Pat McAfee, right? He was talking about like the time that he got the vote for this, right? And he explained the process of what they told him and what they've told other people.
Yes.
Which was not much.
No, you like, have.
He's like, name the top 10 players.
In fairness,
like,
that's my point. Is that there aren't any caps to that.
Right. So I'm saying I can see people like using that logic.
They don't.
I think Mahomes the best player in the league, of course.
Yeah, but do we think Lamar Jackson is better than Derrick Henry?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
For what they do for the team.
Don't get it twisted. Hold on. Don't get it twisted. Lamar Jackson, I actually do not. Hold on. I don't have a problem with the top 4. I have a problem with the order they're in, but I don't have a problem with the top 4. Lamar Jackson has the ability to be best on that list. Patrick Mahomes, I already think, is the best on that list.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Patrick Mahomes' trajectory is going up. But if you want to talk about from a scrambling standpoint, Lamar Jackson runs circles around Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
There is
with the worst line. Significant.
There's no.
Their line's not bad.
Baltimore's got a hell of a line.
It's not bad.
No, Baltimore's got a hell of a line.
The Chiefs have a
the Chiefs line isn't like.
No, you might get it twisted. Baltimore might have a better line than Kansas City.
Yeah.
Well, then that should make Mahomes higher up than.
But that's what Mahomes to me is a gunslinger.
Mahomes to me is the best player in the NFL. I don't think there's
the throws he makes is stupid.
But here's the thing. So but then there's also that aspect of Russell Wilson, the most clutch out of all of those quarterbacks.
And he had no help really.
No, DK Metcalf was a beast. And I still, if you want to talk about problems, I got problems with DK Metcalf made the fucking top 100. Terry McLaurin did not.
Yeah, and how.
I'm glad to see Stephon Gilmore was on there though, because that.
Yeah, he deserved it.
That Patriots secondary.
Kyler Murray was ranked 90, and Josh Jacobs was 72.
And I also don't believe Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in the league.
What? You think Derrick Henry is better?
Saquon Barkley is better running back than.
I don't think so.
I can understand where people look. Christian McCaffrey is one of my favorite players in the NFL.
Why do you say Saquon's better?
Saquon's a better pure runner. It's just the fact that he didn't have the same kind of talent he didn't have the same kind of talent around.
I think McCaffrey does more for his team than Barkley does for his.
There's a way that they scheme McCaffrey in Carolina that I've noticed as far as the amount of touches they're just giving the kid. Yeah, they give him a ton of touches, and as far as a running back that can catch, probably better than anybody in the league right now.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that overall, as far as the running, if you put Christian McCaffrey as running in a slot receiver standpoint, I think he'd be a top 3 wide receiver in the league.
I think he was second in receptions under Michael Thomas.
Right. So that's my thing. But if I'm looking at pure running back, give me Saquon.
But I'm not sure. I think
it's just a player. It's the player.
They just put him in as a player.
Yeah, he's just a player.
He has his running back as his position. Yeah.
If are you saying Saquon Barkley is a better player than
what did I say? What did I say?
You said he's a better running back.
That's all I said. I didn't say that he was a better player overall or what have you.
From how you said it, it made it seem like he should have been higher on the list.
I thought Tim Tebow was a top 10 player in the NFL when he played in the NFL. He was not a good quarterback.
He'd have made a dirty wide
receiver. The motherfucker could win games. He willed you to win. I'm sorry. Tell me anybody that had any talent on that fucking Denver Broncos team, and they made the fucking playoffs and he won.
They had people on their defense was nice.
On the offense of that team, who'd they have?
All right, so then
they had Tim Tebow.
The Ravens, when they went to Super Bowl, what was the QB?
Kyle Buller? No, I'm joking.
No.
You about 2000?
I was about to say him too.
No,
but I was like, no, that wasn't him.
You talking about Trent Dilfer?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the 2 guys in the backfield called Priest Holmes and Jamal Lewis.
Yeah. His name is Priest. Speaking of Tim Tebow.
But the defense is what carried him.
The defense, of course, defense wins championships. I still believe that. But it's
the best offense is a good defense. Have you never read a book?
But at the end of the day, like, all right, like, I get what I'm saying is kind of controversial. I can understand if nobody agrees with me on it. I'm not going to fight it that hard.
Look, I think Saquon is the best running back next to
I think
Derrick
he's the most
Henry.
talented.
Yeah, next to Derrick Henry. Just because Derrick Henry's talent is, I'm hitting you now, and you have to stop it. Saquon has mad mobility. But I think as far as, like, when I look at the finished product of a player on the field at the running back position, Christian McCaffrey's fucking
a Swiss Army knife.
dirty. Yeah, he's just.
And that's why I'm so excited about Antonio.
I'll say this. I agree
Washington.
with you that Saquon's a better running back. Like, just pure
That's all I said. That's all I said.
Washington what?
In terms of being the player,
Washington football team.
I got McCaffrey.
Yeah,
I got McCaffrey as the player.
If it is, and I didn't do the research. I just read the list.
And Rodney Hudson should have been on that list.
If
that man did not allow a sack in 2 years, and they didn't put him on that list, but they put Kelsey on the list.
Travis?
Yeah. No, not Travis. His brother.
No. Saquon?
That kind of pissed me off.
Of course it did.
I'm just saying that
it pissed off a lot of people.
If this was voted before the playoffs, it's not that far off. At least the top 10. After the top 10, I don't really care that much.
Yeah, and that's like, I don't think it was a travesty.
No.
I'm not playing a violin for Patrick Mahomes. I'm just saying that overall, I think he was better.
Patrick Mahomes.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
Took that tiny violin and turned it into 500 Stradivariuses.
Like, just to see the impact that Lamar Jackson has on this city.
Because they're $1 million a piece. That's all.
The impact Lamar Jackson has on this city is insane. He's a transformative figure here. He gives a lot of people here hope. When he was out there, when he posted that thing with Donald Trump was like, big trust Trump, that was I seen people's hearts break here. Then I also saw black people trying to defend Donald Trump on behalf of Lamar Jackson because they got it twisted. So Lamar is a uniquely special I love me some Lamar Jackson. It would make it so much easier to just not be a Washington football team fan and root for the team here because they had a Lamar. But I ain't gonna do that. But I think the future is bright for Lamar.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see what he's doing.
I mean, and the thing is, the Ravens historically have an amazing defense, and if you have a quarterback with that much talent,
and if they get AB as well, which they probably will.
But he just got suspended for 8 games, so who fucking cares?
The way
that means he could sign with the team now.
Yeah, but you know how much drama. Remember when I was saying about Arsenal? I want blue-collar players.
I don't like them.
I'm saying if you were to draft, if you had an NFL expansion team and it said that we're gonna have a draft, we're gonna put every active NFL player in this roster, who are you picking number 1?
Mahomes.
That's amazing.
Chad Ochocinco.
That's not a bad pick.
Dude, do you see that video of him running?
If we had that same situation, but it wasn't for the rest of their career, it was just for next year in itself.
Patrick
Mahomes.
Yeah.
100 times out of 100, if I was picking a team, if I was building a team, 100 times out of 100, the player I would pick puts ketchup on his steak, and you can fucking write that down and put it away somewhere.
My thing is that, like, Patrick Mahomes fills every bucket. You remember I used to have the debates coming up at school, like, if you could pick one quarterback for a season, who would it be? Usually you go Peyton Manning. If you could pick one quarterback for the playoffs, who would it be? Usually you pick Tom Brady. If you could pick one quarterback for one game, who would it be? A lot of people used to say Aaron Rodgers. So it was like one of those things where if you had any –
You got to calm down, bro.
No, the Wire was connect. I'm a mess.
The Wire is a great show.
It is. Patrick Mahomes fills every single one of those things. If I need somebody for the rest of the career, a season, a game, playoffs, whatever, give me Mahomes.
If you have Patrick Mahomes, your cup runneth over.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I mean, yeah, I came when I saw him play.
I want to see how the loss of I think it was the left guard.
No, dude, they're not. You think Patrick's going to play? Are you out of your mind? He's making that money anyway.
He's playing.
NFL players are a little different. I think Patrick Mahomes will play.
Mahomes came out and said he was worried at first, but then after he saw the stuff that the Chiefs were doing, he was like, I feel okay with
That's
it
the
now.
thing. If you feel comfortable, go play. But
Yeah, he said he feels comfortable.
the second you don't, fuck off.
I think the opt out is Monday. The deadline for the opt out is on Monday.
No, but if you're telling me that if Lamar Jackson catches the COVID, that Baltimore's not going to pay him full salary to fuck off and be healthy next year?
No. If you catch it, it's different.
Yeah.
Man, I might go to some COVID parties.
If they find that out, then you're a lawyer, goddammit. You know that you make you negligent as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Giant and stand in the frozen section.
Just gonna lick Watch Ryan licking shopping carts in the grocery park.
It's August 4th. August 4th is the deadline.
That is Tuesday.
Yep.
Look,
right,
as of now, we don't have any.
I'm gonna really miss. First of all, shout out to Northern Virginia for getting your COVID under control. We're like one of the lowest counts with one of the highest population densities in the country.
Nice.
Northern Virginia. Yeah, I mean, Virginia as a whole, Hampton's fucked. But
DC, Maryland, and Virginia as a combination is seeing its highest numbers we have since.
But Northern Virginia has been ticking down since like mid-May. So
yeah, it's ticking down because it takes 20 days to get a test result.
Well, I mean, I think I don't go anywhere now, and if I do see someone without a mask, I'm fucking punking you because
it took me 16 days to get my last test results.
Oh,
16 days.
I get them in 15 minutes. What's up?
There's a Washington Post reporter. She took her 28 days. So we're fucked.
Hey, man, as you can see, I'm still in my house. So I don't really leave it.
Maryland's pretty bad, and so is Virginia.
Yeah,
Virginia's higher than Maryland.
Virginia as a whole, but that's because Hampton is already shut down. Like, their bars are closed again. Like, it's because Virginia Beach, people, you've been to Virginia Beach.
Shithole.
Virginia
Beach is a shithole.
It's like
my dad played football out there, but I don't know.
Jersey. You know Jersey Shore?
I've heard.
Now think of Jersey Shore with rednecks
and military men.
That's Virginia Beach?
Yes.
Wow.
Instead of being Jersey, their flags are different from ours.
A lot of military.
Yeah. So Virginia got almost twice as much as Maryland.
Bigger state, but yes.
Yeah.
But Northern
Virginia at 58K. Virginia's at 91K.
Northern Virginia's killing it is all I'm saying. Mad safe up here. Crystal City, I was there this morning. I didn't see anybody without a mask on outside. People had gloves on and shit, just walking around. Good for them. Keep it up. Because I want.
Oh shit! No, Washington State. My bad. DC is at 12,000.
Well, that's because they're mandatory masks outside, no matter what you're doing.
Well, Hogan and Maryland, he just announced the same thing.
Yeah, I mean Virginia's on their way because if I see it, and it's weird. It's either an old white person or like an Indian guy.
What?
I don't know
why.
This shit's
out there in Hawaii too. Hawaii got 2,000.
Well, remember when Australia said they beat it, and now they didn't.
Yeah, it's all bad.
Hey, stay inside, wear your mask, and eat healthy.
Are we final thoughting this now?
Yeah. So here are my final thoughts. Arsenal won
Airplane
today,
food. No, I'm sorry.
and that was really
Congratulations, man.
Emotionally uplifting to me. I really wish that baseball could have worked out. It's like a bad date with a really good person. You're like, I really wish this could have gone better.
We can try again next year.
Yeah, this is just a bad time for me in my life. It's not going to work now, but I know we're both going to be free again next year, so let's try it again. We got hockey back. Playoffs start at 4 hours ago. So as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to ignore everything else for the rest of the day. Hockey, same as NBA, no positive tests in 2 weeks. They've administered 100,000 of them in the last 2 weeks. 0 positive. Bubble it up. Bubble yourself. Bubble wrap.
How many people are on the hockey team?
5 lines of 5. 25 plus coaches and staff. It can be done. It can be done, folks. That's half a football team right there, plus
Yeah.
reserves.
In all one bubble.
There's 2 bubbles.
Okay.
And after those 2 bubbles are done, they will condense into one. After a 2-week waiting period of 0 tests, they will condense into one.
I think the NFL can follow their format.
They can. I mean, this is a lot of teams playing in the NHL right now. I think it's 20 teams. It's a lot.
So if you got multiple, like, let's say instead of 2 bubbles, the NFL has 6 or 8 bubbles.
Right. You can do it. It's just, are they willing to? Like, the NHL has been as bad as anybody else about flexibility. There's been multiple lockouts. There was the most recent lockout was 06, 07, or 05, 06, one of them. But, like, it can be done. But I just feel like if you're an NHL player, if you see these guys, they're there without their families. They're there to play hockey. And I feel like there's, like, some sort of disconnect between what they're doing. And you see some baseball players, they're not – like, the Marlins aren't going to win shit anyway, so they're like, fuck it, I'm going to go to the bar. And if you don't have 100% of the people on board, it's not going to work. Man. That's the problem. Yeah. You have to have 100% of the people on board. For some reason, basketball and hockey right now, those players are 100% behind their cause and 100% behind their sport. And if you have one person that's not, they got to go. What's up, Lou Williams? Although I understand, man, those wings look so good. Plus titties.
All right, Kadeen, go.
All right.
You go, Kadeen.
Can you get titties to go at Magic City?
I mean, if you're Lou Williams, you got money too.
Well, I was saying the drive-through strip.
Didn't he have 2 girlfriends that like lived with him at one time?
I don't know.
That is the life.
Yeah, I had a final thought in my head, and all sports are stupid now. They give Adam Silver credit for kind of lucking into having the easiest sport to shut down. I don't think there's a right way to do any of this stuff except not doing it at all. I know what my final thought was. As much as I hate the Washington football team, I will say that I agree with what it is they've done as far as not giving us a name right now and taking the year to properly figure it all out. I'm actually a fan of it. It's just gonna shit all over.
And I think he broke up with one, and then the other, like, they actually have a kid, maybe. I believe.
Breaking news, folks. Lou Williams likes hookers.
You can't say that. I think one of them's like his actual, like, girl.
What was her past occupation? I'm just asking. I don't know.
I wouldn't assume.
Yeah, and assuming makes an ass of you and me.
If this podcast gets big, Lou Williams gonna look at this shit.
Lou Williams can come on here and explain himself.
That man's gonna fight you.
I'll say whatever I want. I realize what the consequences may be later on.
Oh God. Okay.
I'm okay with that. Look, my teeth are fake anyway. We'll fight it out. I'll get new ones, and then we can sit down and have a chat. I'm okay with that.
Oh, right.
I realize that there are consequences for the things I say. I'm gonna make some good ass ribs later. So that's all I'm worried about. Watch them hockey.
All right, Lou, you want some wings? Come on, man.
No, I'll make him some badass wings. We'll probably be able to talk it out after that.
All right. My bad, Kadeen. We're sorry.
I've lost this interest in talking. I want to go now.
Yo, you need a nap, kid-at.
Yeah.
Can I hang up now?
No.
Can you hang up? Hey,
Are you going to go to sleep after this?
No, and I'm sick and tired of holding this goddamn thing because it won't fucking stack. Look at it.
All right, you got final thoughts, James? Or you done?
My final thoughts is next Saturday, I think it's at